Chapter 3. Counting Your Chickens. I never realized until I got a few years under my belt how it felt to be young. I ran my nights, worked my body till it bled, saved nothing, and cared not one whit what kind of garden I was planting. Now I know a little bit more, and I can see clearly what the carelessness of my youth has brought me for my wages. Pain. My body moves, it hurts. Somewhere anyway, and not always the same place twice. My constitution, once thought to be indestructible, now reduced to a shell that I have to be constantly aware of for its weaknesses. And my mind. That's where I really notice the changes of the years. Things just don't seem to matter like they used to. Not everything, of course, just the things that I used to feel were important, like sex and money and the excitement of the chase. Now, what thrills me more than anything else is the prospect of being able to sit alone for a couple of hours, just writing and sipping tea or something else equally mundane. Mundane to the young, I suppose. Quite a pleasant time for me now, sucking in the flavors like the flowers soak up the sunshine. Okay, I'll say it. If I only knew then what I know now. But I didn't. Nor do you. You might not listen to me any more than I did to the pleadings of my elders. You can run your nights until you can't do it anymore and play your games like a madman till you've lost all you could ever hope to gain. You might. But will you? Perhaps you'll do more than I or anyone else you know. Perhaps you'll build skyscrapers or bridges or find the cure to some devastating disease. Maybe you'll die homeless and alone. That is simply out of my hands and maybe yours. The one thing of which I have no doubt is your power right now to do what feels like the right thing. It's in the hope that you'll listen a little bit better than I did that I write these pages now. Well, at least that somebody out there sees the sense in my words and may stop just a minute today to count their chickens, so to speak. After all, haven't you laid enough eggs so far in your life that at least some of them should hatch? I know, some of them are going to be stillborn. Others have become somebody else's omelet. But some, just some, mind you, have grown into full-fledged birds and are either ready for the frying pan or to lay some eggs of their own. When was the last time you counted your hatchlings? Have you been running so fast for so long now that you don't even know what seeds you've been planting? What you've been putting into your garden, your bank? Well, it's never too late to stop and take a look. The sooner you do, in fact, the less unwork you're likely to have ahead of you. So let's get to it right now. This is about pleasure, right? Not just the flesh and bone kind of pleasure, but the soul deep kind that never leaves you and can never be called into question. The kind that fills you with warm fuzzies every time you think of them. Where do you get yours? From what do you gain pleasure? Really now, not what you think is the right thing to get pleasure from, but what really, really pleases you. Think hard. Then stop thinking. Stop your brain long enough for your heart to feel. After all, isn't that where pleasure lives? In your heart? What do you see there where you're looking? Not in the shadows, but in the light. What do you have that brightens up the secret places of your heart? That's what I want you to see right now. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know what it feels like. I know its essence. It doesn't fit too well into words, but it fits very well into experience. So, take a walk with me into some sunshine. Have you ever seen a double rainbow and stopped everything you were doing for just a few minutes to admire its beauty? How about a waterfall, the sound roaring out into the world like it has for thousands of years, and you, this day, its only witness? Maybe you just looked into the space between a mother and her child as they shared a moment of absolute love. That's pleasure. That's something to hold on to. That is indeed something to tuck away in your storehouse for future times when the sun isn't shining quite so brightly, or the rain didn't bring any rainbows on its own, or when you're feeling like there's no love left in the world for someone like you. It's at those times that we reach into our bag of gifts and pull out something so special that there isn't another soul on this planet that has one, something that was given just to us. And just so we can have it right now when we need it the most. Just so we can remember what's really important in this life and do something to make a positive difference in our own lives right here, right now. You see, those special sometimes that we looked into the heart and soul of life as it was defined earlier, a person or a thing regarded as a source of vigor, animation, spirit, or enjoyment, and find a little something to add to our arsenal of life. A little something that was given to us and only us to grow on and to be nurtured by. Those are the pennies that make dimes. Those are the treasures in the storehouse of our souls. And those moments, my friend, is how we shall be judged, or judge ourselves, depending on your own personal philosophy. Now, what does your bank look like? Is it a little rusty old fire engine with a flat and a broken ladder? Maybe it's shaped like a heart and covered with dust hiding away on the back shelf of the pantry. Maybe, like me, you can't even find yours or recall where or when you saw it last. No matter, really. If you can't find yours, we're going to make a new one. In the process, there'll be some pennies and dimes and quarters fall out of the closet right into your own hands. Stuff long forgotten will find new life as we learn to use them like the tools that they are. What we're all going to do from now on is treat ourselves a little differently. We're going to treat our bank differently. It will become a thing of joy for us to behold, so much so that we keep it in front of us at all times, ready to accept the newest gift that life has to offer, ready to accept the new and to find new pleasure in the old. Right now, we've taken out only a couple of my old dimes and shined them up. Now we've remembered the value of something together and are ready to share its fruit, that we might be lifted up and feel more pleasure in the day-to-day right now when we need it most. Then we can start looking around us as we walk instead of run and gather up these dimes and pennies. And we can share them with another should they be unable to find their own along the way. We can share and we can grow. Something green. Green tendrils reaching out and up into the air, reaching for the moisture, receives without a care growth and light, enduring night awaiting dawn's sweet kiss, living and so giving to the world its sacred bliss. How pure life is! Give to me the essence of your soul, and I'll return it magnified, cleansed and remade whole. Like the plant whose soul is purified by the air in which it thrives, the sharing of your soul with mine makes me come alive. Harmony, peace, I embrace you and the rhythm of your glow, enhancing all my passions. I grow. Hi everybody, my name is Ron Hatton and I am the author of A Book of Life. Now, since day one, when I finished making the book, I studied about bookbinding techniques. It was always too expensive for me to have a publisher do it for me. So what I did was decided to make my own, and the result is this. Now, this is a hand-bound copy, ribbon, paper, all of that folded by hand. And if you should like to have a copy of this for yourself or for someone you love, then all you have to do is email me at gadgetman@gadgetmangroove.com. Just watch the slide. The email address is coming. God bless y'all richly and warmly, and as always, remember to smile for a stranger today. You will both be glad you did. Bye-bye.